What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the OG family. Make sure y'all smash that like button, subscribe to my channel only if you want to. But look, my beautiful people, look, man, I just want to tell y'all, bro, I appreciate my notification squad, and I know that y'all are the first ones that's watching this video right now, and I just want to really tell y'all how much I do appreciate y'all. Some of y'all have received some rewards, and the other ones, the ones that's first, whatever, the ones that I see most often, the ones that deserve these things, I'm giving out the giveaways first to y'all, and I'm just letting y'all know that I do appreciate y'all on the daily. You know what I'm saying? My real ones know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Y'all been rewarded, but at the same time, man, we got this 10 billionaires who are now broke video. 10 billionaires who are now broke. Look, man, it tells you, bro, no matter how much money you have, you can go back to zero. Easy. So humble yourself, man. Make sure you treat your money the right way. But let's get into this video so we can get more educated on what the hell is going on, because I don't understand how you can lose $1 billion though at the end of the day. Once you got $1 billion, bro, you ain't got to do too much else. Don't risk your money on bullshit. But don't listen to me. I'm not a financial expert or advisor. So let's get into this video, though. Without further ado, let's get this thing to like 10,000 likes so the whole world can see this. Let's get it.
Billionaire status is becoming increasingly common. It's hard to imagine amassing such a prodigious fortune over the course of a human lifetime. Most individuals who have the skill or luck to stockpile this much money manage to invest it wisely and build generational wealth. But others don't have the business acumen to maintain their fortunes.
That face ain't never gonna get old to me.
Today we're looking at billionaires who lost it all. Alan Stanford is a Texas native who ran the second biggest Ponzi scheme of all time. Though he made off with an absolutely incredible sum of money, he was discovered a mere 2 months after Bernie Madoff, and thus did not make the same headlines. But unlike the victims of Bernie Madoff, who have gotten back large chunks of their principal, the 18,000 customers of Stanford have recovered practically nothing. In total, he stole more than $8 billion and remained unchallenged because he donated millions of dollars to politicians in both the United States and the Caribbean.
And you know they so corrupt too, bro. He gave money to the politicians, bro. He had $8 billion. You know they not gonna say nothing. This grease their palms, bro. They gonna let it ride.
Initially, judges ruled that insurance companies were liable to pay $65 million to the victims of this terrible scheme. But in the end, they voided this ruling. After the SEC raided Stanford's offices in 2009, his business empire was essentially shut down. While Stanford claimed the accounts were backed by solid assets and posted returns that consistently beat the market, the SEC alleged the entire operation was a fraud that financed Stafford's lavish lifestyle. He's now serving a 110-year sentence for his misdeeds. But the bottom line is that his victims, many of them elderly retirees, will never see a penny of their money back.
Bro, he got that much time for that? Bro, he ain't never getting out. It's over. Your life is over. Wow.
Björgólfur Gudmundsson was once Iceland's richest man. He became Iceland's second billionaire after his own son. He was at one time the majority owner and chairman of the now nationalized Icelandic bank Landsbanki, the second largest company in Iceland. He was ranked by Forbes magazine in March 2008 as the 1,014th richest person in the world, with a net worth of $1.1 billion. In the 1990s, he was sentenced to 12 months in prison and suspended for 2 years for bookkeeping offenses, having faced around 450 charges. He went to Russia, remade his fortune, and returned to Iceland, where he also had interests in shipping, publishing, food, communications, and property. Fast forward to 2009, when he was $759 million in debt. It was the largest bankruptcy filing in Icelandic history. Essentially, Landsbanki was hit by the credit crunch that rolled the financial industry in 2009, and Gudmundsson lost everything. Although they were both implicated in the Panama Papers, his son is still a billionaire.
What? How, bro? Like, how did his son end up just keeping his bread? His son was probably doing the right shit, though. His dad was crooked as hell. That's crazy, bro. Like, I'm pretty sure his dad.
It reads almost like a cliche movie plot. The sad tale goes like this. A beautiful young woman marries a billionaire, divorces, and uses her hefty settlement to strike out into a celebrated business.
Absolutely not. Look, man, I'm gonna be real with y'all, men and women at this time. Look, I'm gonna be real with you 100%. The times have changed. You need to get a prenup to protect yourself and your money and your assets, because a lot of times, especially you're dealing with somebody that didn't put in on, they didn't help you build this wealth, so therefore they don't need your cut, bro. Like, somebody, if you wealthy and you meet somebody, bro, get a prenup. It's not to say that you don't love that person. It's just to protect yourself. They be like, oh, you don't love me, like, not that much.
only to lose it all. Rather than a contrived film plot, this is the real-life story of Patricia Kluge. Her former husband, John Kluge, was a legendary businessman who at one point was the richest man in the world. Born in Chemnitz, Germany, he eventually became a media mogul and made a huge $4 billion fortune in 1986 after selling his production company to 20th Century Fox.
Wow.
Patricia Kluge married the billionaire John Kluge, 34 years her senior, in 1981. Their jet-setting life became a myth among the ultra-rich. And when Kluge divorced her in 1990, she walked away with $1 billion and their family home. Kluge's plan was to use their Virginia estate as a vineyard and establish the area as the California of the East Coast. She took out millions of dollars of loans to accomplish this, and obviously Virginia did not become the epicenter of fine wines. Deeply in debt, Kluge sold her winery to future President Donald Trump. He still owns the property and allowed Kluge to work there for 1 year before firing her.
Hey, she sold that shit to another broke dude. Like, that's crazy, bro. Trump ain't got no money. He in debt, bro.
As of 2008, Sean Quinn was the richest man in Ireland with a wealth of roughly $5 billion. Only 3 years later, he was filing for bankruptcy. When he was only 14 years old, he dropped out of school in order to borrow 100 pounds and sell gravel. This eventually became a massive conglomerate with arms in construction, banking, and healthcare. Quinn became a legend for Irish people during the 90s when he allegedly punched a British soldier who tried to detain him at a checkpoint. This goodwill served him when he lost the entirety of his fortune on bad banking investments. In the end, he served a small period of jail time and was released for good behavior. He still doesn't have another business empire, but he continues to try and attract lucrative investments. He was recently in the news because gangsters beat the director of his company and claimed that Quinn was threatening the conglomerate to allow him back on the board. Quinn vehemently denies these claims, but it's clear that he has fallen from grace.
Damn, bro, you see that pain in his eyes, bro? All them tears and shit, bro. This money, yeah, it can change your life. But it also can change your life in a bad way, man, if you don't know what you're doing once you start to come into money.
Alberto Billar is another billionaire who led a life of crime. He made his fortune investing in tech stocks, but in 2008 he was convicted of money laundering. For Mr. Billar, who lived in a luxury apartment with marble floors and a large bronze statue of Mozart, the fall from grace was swift. He was a legendary arts patron and had a particular penchant for opera. But after the revelation that he had defrauded thousands of people, the arts community responded with a unified front. The Met took his name off its grand tier. The Royal Opera House at Covent Garden in London removed Billar from its Floral Hall, and the Salzburg Festival took his picture out of its programs. Finally, a judge sentenced him to 9 years in prison for his role in a $22 million fraud scheme. But now he is a free man. His first act after his release from prison was to buy tickets to an opera at the Met. Though he remains an extremely controversial figure, it's clear that the septuagenarian will not make his billions back anytime soon.
What a sad life, bro. Like, you can be at the top, bro. You can be at the very top, bro, and then they'll smite thee. They'll smite thee. Now you at the bottom, bro. Look, man, don't ever feel like the government, nobody else care about your finances, man. This is big. I'm telling y'all, bro. I'm pleading with y'all. Just make sure your shit is together, because the only people that's gonna care is your family, your close family, or your close friends, and you know.
Nicknamed Catwoman for the results of her unbelievably unflattering plastic surgery, Jocelyn Wildenstein is an American socialite who made her billions by marrying rich. She was born in Lausanne, Switzerland in 1940 and was introduced to Alec N. Wildenstein by Saudi arms dealer Adrian Khashoggi at a shooting weekend at his ranch in Africa. The two were married when they were both in their 30s.
I'm sorry, bro, but look, every time I see her face, I can't stop but doing this right here. It's because her skin is so damn tight on her damn head, all that damn plastic, it just makes me do that. Like, oh my God, it's probably what she feel like. Y'all ever do that? I ain't the only one that do that type of shit. And then you got this guy right here, he wanted somebody to look like a cat or whatever, and you did it for him? Look at his damn forehead. You did this for him? That's because he got money, though. See, money talk.
Wildenstein was a horse breeder and art dealer with a net worth of over $10 billion. When they split in 1999, she walked away with $2.5 billion in her divorce settlement and $100 million each year for the following 13 years. But her lavish lifestyle took its toll, and the sad divorcee filed for bankruptcy in 2018. Elizabeth Holmes dropped out of Stanford University at 19 to start blood testing startup Theranos and grew the company to a valuation of $9 billion. They claim to have revolutionized the blood testing industry, but it all came crashing down when the shortcomings and inaccuracies of the company's technology were exposed, and Theranos and Holmes were charged with massive fraud. The decline of Theranos began in 2015 when a series of journalistic and regulatory investigations revealed doubts about the company's technology claims and whether Holmes had misled investors and the government. In 2018, the SEC charged Theranos and Holmes with deceiving investors by massive fraud through false or exaggerated claims about the accuracy of her blood testing technology. Holmes settled the charges by paying a $500,000 fine, returning shares to the company, relinquishing her voting control of Theranos, and being barred from serving as an officer or director of a public company for 10 years. After making Forbes' list in 2014, Holmes has been embroiled in a legal scandal the following years and can't even afford to pay her lawyers. This has been a spectacular fall from grace.
How does that, I'm telling y'all, how does that happen, bro? I thought at least at her situation, she was going to have a little bit of bread left over. They were making all this damn money and then that happened.
Vijay Mallya is a former liquor baron who made his fortune with United Spirits, the largest spirits company in India, and continues to serve as chairman of United Breweries Group, an Indian conglomerate with interests including beverages, aviation infrastructure, real estate, and...
I thought they was about to say, hold on. So he does have something to do with Spirit Airlines. Yeah, he need his ass whooped. That is the terrible airline right there. That is the closest thing to death that you gonna do. Bruh, Spirit Airlines, bruh, don't do it.
Fertilizer. He has been the chairman of Sanofi India and the chairman of Bayer Crop Science in India for over 20 years and the chairman of several other companies. His father actually founded these businesses, which Mallya inherited when he was 28 years old. Since then, the group has grown into a multinational conglomerate of over 60 companies with an annual turnover which increased by 64% over 15 years to $11 billion in 1998. But as with most individuals on this list, Mallya made one bad investment that tanked his entire fortune. Kingfisher Airlines went down in 2013 and had $1.5 billion in bad loans connected with the Indian air carrier. Mallya was recently convicted as a willful defaulter and is fighting extradition in London at the moment.
Damn.
Batista was once Brazil's richest man, but he lost his fortune in monumental fashion. Batista's meteoric rise and fall mirrored the recent fortunes of Brazil, where a commodities boom faded as his energy, mineral, and logistics empire fell apart earlier this decade. His swashbuckling attitude and confident forecasts of a prolonged golden era for Brazil evaporated as Latin America's largest economy suffered its worst recession on record. In early 2012, Batista had a net worth of $35 billion, ranking him the seventh wealthiest person in the world. By July 2013, his wealth had plummeted to $200 million due to his debts and his company's falling stock prices. Bloomberg reported in January 2014 that Batista has a negative net worth. He was convicted for paying $16.6 million to get government contracts as part of a sprawling corruption probe known as Car Wash, and sentenced to 30 years, which he is serving under house arrest. But earlier this year, he was
under house arrest. See, that's what these rich people get. You feel me? Look, 30 years under house arrest, bro. They wasn't gonna put his rich ass in no damn prison with these people, man. He had to pay off everybody in that joint because they be on that ass.
Also sentenced to 7 years of prison for insider trading, adding to his already hefty prison time. Here is a billionaire whom you probably recognize. Bernie Madoff became the face of the 2008 financial meltdown when it became clear that he was responsible for the single largest Ponzi scheme in world history. Madoff founded a penny stock brokerage in 1960, which eventually grew into Bernard L. Madoff Investment Securities. He served as its chairman until his arrest on December 11, 2008. Despite claiming to generate large, steady returns through an investing strategy called split strike conversion, which is an actual trading strategy, Madoff simply deposited client funds into a single bank account that he used to pay existing clients who wanted to cash out. In total, he smuggled more than $64 billion away in order to pay for his own lavish lifestyle. On June 29, 2009, he was sentenced to 150 years in prison with restitution of $170 billion. Though some of this money has been reclaimed and distributed amongst his victims, the vast majority of this wealth will never be returned. Almost 5,000 individuals lost their savings in this scheme, and they were not able to retire comfortably as a result. Madoff recently asked President Trump to commute his sentence, proving he still has no signs of remorse in prison.
Bro, all these people that he took money from, he said 500, bro. Even out of 500 people, bro, $64 billion. You understand how much these people had in their retirement where all of a sudden they thought they were set up for life and now they have shit? Yeah, he gonna have to go. Like, not just to prison, but he got burned in the fire, bro.
Adolf Merck was born in Dresden, Germany, and over the course of his lifetime became one of the wealthiest people in his home country. He developed his Bohemian grandfather's chemical wholesale company into Germany's largest pharmaceutical wholesaler, Phoenix Pharmahandel. In the early 1970s, he founded Germany's first generic drug manufacturer, Ratiopharm. For several decades, he also held large parts of cement company Heidelberg Cement, as well as vehicle manufacturer Casboer. In 2007, he was worth $12.8 billion, according to Forbes. But Merkel never had an appetite for the finer things. He lived so modestly that he cycled to work on a 15-year-old bike for most of the year, and in bad weather, he drove a 4-year-old VW Golf. He had no bodyguards or servants, lived in an unimposing chalet-style house in a small town of Blaubeuren, his home for the past 60 years, without so much as a CCTV camera for protection, and stopped off at his local pub on the way home each night to share a drink with the regulars. But just like most other billionaires on this list, Merkel lost a fortune during the 2008 economic downturn. This was accompanied by a poor investment in Volkswagen. In the end, Merkel caved to the external pressure and took his own life.
Wow, bro. Look. Honestly, bro, look. At the end of the day, money is... Look, man. I'm going to tell y'all this. People that say money ain't important, bro, you lame as hell. It's very important. It's one of the most important things that you can have in your lifetime. Not saying that you have to worship money or anything like that, but it's very important. You're a sucker if you like, oh, money's not important. Shut up. Stupid. That's just stupid at this point. We should all know, bro, like, getting money is very powerful, but it don't make you, though. And it also can break you, obviously, because we just did this compilation. It can definitely break you. But at the end of the day, if you manage your money, you're not greedy. So, for instance, some of these people are already billionaires, right? Before they did all this fraud stuff. And then they want to fraud people. They want to take... They're so consumed by, bro, if you got $1 billion, you could smartly invest. You don't have to put, $500 million up on this company, into this company to do this and that. Nah, bro, do smaller investments to get you returns, bro. You can live off your damn... Like, with $1 billion, bro, you can live off of the interest that your money accrues, like, through the year, and you would never touch your real money. But look, man, I'm not a financial advisor or nothing like that. I'm just a guy that just knows a little bit about money. But yo, because I've lost it too, I lost everything before too, but not on this scale. And I'm happy that it wasn't here first. I learned early before I lose millions. You feel me? But look, man, let me know how y'all feel about this video. If y'all want to know more about money and building wealth and everything else like that, what I'm doing in my adventure, then, you know what I'm saying, y'all can go ahead and join my Patreon when I drop it. I'm going to keep talking about it for a while before it actually becomes public. But look, I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully you had a good day. And like I always say, spread love, because there's too much hate in this world. Love you guys. See you in the next video. And I'm out. I got nothing else to say.